This is the 2027 Ford Expedition King Ranch. It is single-handedly one of the nicest luxury vehicles you could get in its segment. But what you're going to find out in this video, there's also some hilarious fails that they have made with the 2027 model year. That is coming up next on TC Customs. What's up, guys? Let's just go ahead and jump straight into the vehicle itself, because as I just mentioned to you, I actually do love this trim level, but there is going to be something later on in the video that is just going to blow your mind and make you think, what the heck were they thinking? But let's start off exactly what are we dealing with. This is the 2027 Ford Expedition. This is the max version, which means that it's a little bit longer. You've got a little bit more cargo space. You got a little more space inside of that third row seat. And overall, it's just a bigger vehicle, a little bit longer. And this vehicle happens to be the King Ranch trim level. Now, there's a lot of different trim levels that are available on the Expedition for 2027. And as a shameless plug, we'll have a playlist down below so that way you can click on all of the different trim levels as we continue this series out. If you want to see more of these videos, just like this one, make sure you hit that like button to let us know. So the first things first, let's start off with the color itself. This is going to be the Star White, Platinum, Tri-Coat, whatever. Basically, it's a white vehicle, but it's got a really beautiful flake in it, especially when it gets hit by the sun on a bright sunny day like it is today. But what I love about the King Ranch itself is it's got a unique set of grills, wheels, but also on the inside. But take a look at the grille itself. As you can see, you've got the bronze front grille, and it's the perfect amount of color. It's not too much, it's not cheesy, it's not just, it actually works out pretty well in my opinion. You've got this main bar, but you also have two smaller ones that run the overall width of the vehicle itself. You've obviously got your Ford logo located right here, and you also have this satin applique, which is also a premium piece of the King Ranch trim level. And at night, you even have a nice LED light bar that runs all the way across the vehicle, but it ties in perfectly with the actual headlights. And speaking of the headlights, these are some of the most advanced headlights you can find out on the market. They do a great job of displaying as much light as you possibly need. Just make sure that you've got good insurance, because these headlights and taillights are not cheap at all. So next up, let's talk about the wheels, the tires, and the suspension. So what do we have here? Well, first off, we do have your King Ranch specific wheels. These are not just normal wheels. They're not a 20-inch wheel. It is specific 22-inch King Ranch wheels. So you've got the King Ranch logo right there in the center cap, but you also have a unique design that is exclusive to the King Ranch, which is nice. If you're gonna buy an exclusive trim level, you need to have an exclusive wheel, not just a grille. You gotta have something on the outside that really sets this thing apart from just a normal base model like the Active that we shot a video on not long ago. But in addition to that, you can also see you've got your King Ranch badge on the door, which is really kind of a designer feature that they've had for years and years on the F-150s, the 250s, and also the Expeditions. But take a look at this. If you're not 6'3", you still have the ability to get in and out of the vehicle pretty easy. I didn't even have to open the door, but when I lock it, guess what's going to happen? It will automatically open and close those power deployable running boards just by getting the vehicle unlocked. And what you might not have noticed just a second ago is that I was able to lock it without touching the keys. One of the ways you do that is you have to have the key in your pocket somewhere, or in your purse or your backpack, but there's going to be 4 little lines on top of the door handle. When you tap that, it automatically locks the whole vehicle up. But when you stick your hand into the door handle, it automatically unlocks, and then that's when everything starts moving, like the power running boards and the power fold mirrors, which is a really, really neat little option. Now, looking out back, you'll notice here, this is one of the things I love about the Expedition, is you've got the black, piano black, that kind of mixes in well with that rear window, that it does have the privacy glass. And so it looks like the roof itself is kind of floating up above the glass. I don't know if I explained that well, but I love the fact that it's all piano black all the way around. But as you come around to the side, you can see you do have a little bit more of an extension on the vehicle. And what I'll do for purposes, show you, you can get the King Ranch in a short wheelbase, which is just the normal Expedition King Ranch, or you can get it with this, which is the max version, which basically means it's a little bit longer. So what I'll do is put it on the screen there so you can see the difference in exactly, visually speaking, how much longer is the Max compared to the normal one? Now, coming around to the back of the vehicle, this is single-handedly one of the things that Ford has gotten kicked on and bullied in the comments constantly, and that is going to be this new split gate. Now, the split gate is actually an overpowered feature in my opinion. I love the way that it opens and I love the functionality, but the only thing that I don't like is that it only comes in one color. It doesn't matter if you order a white vehicle or if you order a black vehicle or if you order a brown vehicle or anything in between. This top half is going to be painted black, this exact same color. Some people don't want the Stormtrooper look going on. The good news is TC Customs can actually sand and repaint this applique, but it'd be nice from the factory if Ford would give us an option. Word on the street is the engineers and the people designing the vehicle wanted to show off to the world this is a unique component and it's different from the previous generation, and that's why every one of them is black. To me, it sounds like a cost-cutting feature. If I can be totally transparent, I think they should have made every one of these color matched, but neither here nor there. But let's take a look at the functionality. When you double hit the button, the first thing that's going to happen is this top hatch is going to open up. Notice how the bottom part does not. Now, the beautiful thing about this is customizable. If you've seen our active video, you'll know how that all functions and flows through, but I'll give you a quick rundown anyways. Is you can open up the bottom part independently of the top part. Now, you do obviously have to have this open to open and close this one, but it is nice to be able to have that piece stay up so that way when you go grocery shopping, all your groceries don't just spill out of the vehicle the second you open up the top hatch, which is a concern that I am currently having with my wife's previous generation Expedition. So this is one of the features we would love to have on an Expedition and has caused us to want to upgrade. We just haven't done it quite yet. Now, there's a lot of functionality back here. You've got a power third row seat that goes up and down with the press of a button, and even the second row seats will fold down automatically with the press of a button. The unfortunate thing is, to get those middle seats to come back up, you do have to physically lift those back up with your own body strength. So it's not a big deal to me, but if you're somebody that is maybe a little more frail or is not able to lift that seat back up, you might want to actually take a look at the Lincoln Navigator. The Lincoln Navigator apparently does have a significantly higher price point, but it does have the power second row seats, so that way you can manually adjust all of that. But to me, I think the Expedition King Ranch, especially when you see the inside, there's no reason to step up to the Navigator. Let's go take a look. The interior of the King Ranch is really where it is all at. This is what you're paying for. You're paying for the nice steering wheel with the brown leather, and look at this cross stitching. It is absolutely beautiful. And it also ties into this nice dashboard that is leather wrapped. It's a soft touch and it's got the stitching all the way. And it takes it all the way to the front speaker and also to that front instrument cluster. You've got this nice infotainment system. Take a look at this. You even have this wood located throughout the interior of the vehicle. Now, we were actually having a debate before shooting this particular clip on whether or not this was real wood. And the fact is that whether it is real or it's not, it's so good that the people that do this for a living are having a hard time figuring it out. So to me, that tells you it's good enough. But the rest of the thing is I do want to not bash on Ford, but give constructive feedback where I think it is due. Number one, let's just kind of give you the scenario. I'm driving down the interstate and I want to turn the radio down all of a sudden. So where do I grab? I grab what I think is the volume knob and I turn it all the way down, and then I realize later on I was actually grabbing the gear shifter instead of the volume knob. Who in the world put the volume knob directly next to the gear selector? Guys, separate them out. I'm okay with the actual gear shifter because it's actually saved us many a times before. My wife doesn't have the best driving record, but why would you put them right next to each other? You need to split them up or something, because yes, they are different sizes, but at the end of the day, if it's kind of stressful and you're just grabbing for the first thing you think is that volume knob, that to me could be a dangerous thing. But I'm sure Ford's got safeties and nannies and things like that that we've not tested out to keep you from slamming your car into park while you're driving down the interstate. But to me, that is one thing that I just don't understand. Now let's get back to some of the other things that I absolutely love about the interior. And one of the other reasons my wife is like, I really want one of these. And fun fact, my sister's actually buying one of these, an actual King Ranch today. It's not this one, she's actually getting a black one, but take a look at this. Oh, my Lanta. You've got a hidden storage compartment for whatever it is you need down here. So you could put your purse down there, you could put a firearm, whatever it is that you don't want people having access to, you can put it there. And the beautiful thing is when you slide it all the way back up and you turn the vehicle off, you can't get this thing open. You're gonna have to pry it open and like destroy the center console just to get the contents out of it. So it's truly locked when the vehicle's not on. Now, the other benefit to that is when this is all the way back, now those cup holders at the top in the back of it are now closer reach for the occupants in that second row seat. A really, really nice little setup. Ford really thought that one thing through. Another thing that they thought through is take a look at all of the space that you have in the center console. So not only do you have what's up front and lockable, you also happen to have this big space for even easier access, and you don't have to, wait for the motorized component to open up. But I will tell you, the one thing that they absolutely got wrong is going to be the wireless charger. So for 2026, Ford got rid of the wireless charger in the Expedition. It debuted in 25, it disappeared for 26, and it's back for 2027. But someone was asleep at the wheel. Let me tell you why. Because if you take your phone, and yes, I'm taking my phone out of the case, okay? I'm gonna take my phone and I'm gonna plug it in, and I just set it down. It's magnetized, which is really nice. It automatically locks on, and guess what? Now it's charging my phone. But here's the problem though. If I put just my normal case, nothing crazy bulky, but what we've tested it on is this quad lock case, not sponsored, just showing you what it is. It's a quad lock case, nothing crazy. It's got the magnetic ring in there, and it's designed for normal wireless charging. I wireless charge this phone all the time, that's all I do. But the problem is this extra thickness of the case. Now it will still line up, but it's not lined up perfectly enough, and it will not charge just like that. So I can't charge my phone with the freaking case on it. But there's another nuance. This shows you how close it is. If you take this little rubber liner out and then drop it back on, now the wireless charger is working just like normal. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it seems like the Ford engineers that designed this didn't test it with a phone that had a case on it before they shipped it to market. Now I get it, it's difficult to test for all variations, but we've tested this, we've tested an OtterBox, and it seems pretty consistent that you might have to live without this piece of plastic if you want to keep the case on your phone. So thanks for trying, Ford, but didn't exactly hit the mark. The second row of the King Ranch is where a lot of coolness happens. Now, I intentionally left the front seat exactly where I would want it if I am driving that vehicle. And as you know, I'm 6'3". So when you compare that to how much legroom I have in the second row seat, you can see you still have a pretty significant amount of legroom. But the thing I like about the back seat though is Ford still gives you the ability to slide it forward and back. Just by pulling this up, you can slide it forward, which makes it easier to have access to your kids if you're feeding your small child or whatever the scenario is. But everybody can find exactly what kind of legroom they want in their vehicle. And I'm gonna show you the third row seat in the same position. Now, I am a very, very large individual, but now I have actually got comfortable legroom for 6'3" people stacked 3 deep. This is why you buy the Expedition Max, is because of that extra space. Now, I want to draw your attention to a couple of other things up front before we, oh, big butt Bertha's coming through. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's one thing that I wanted to point out to you. This is a brand new entertainment system from Ford Motor Company, and take a look at this. You know, we've got, let's just, oh, you know you like it. You know you like it, but it's brand new, $2,100 for these 2 screens right here. So while I'm sure there's not going to be any issue with how nice this system is, and it's got an HDMI port, so you could plug in your PlayStation or your Xbox into it, and that's really a nice added benefit. But for $2,100, you can buy a whole lot of really nice iPads at that price point. You could buy a whole lot of really nice MacBook Neos. But if you went back to the iPad route, did you know that Ford gave you a dedicated iPad slot right here? And it's designed to just drop that iPad straight here, and now you have got full access for everybody to view that iPad. So while this is nice, I probably would actually prefer the device holder that we featured in one of our previous videos on the active trim level. So once again, there's nothing wrong with this whole DVD system. It's just a lot of money when an iPad can take care of the same need for most families. So, but other than that, I really love the back seat. It's nice that you can actually recline this seat, so that way if you don't have anybody behind you, you really can just kind of get this thing in and relax and, you know, ride a long road trip in this whole setup. I freaking love, and by the way, the seats feel fantastic. Probably one of the best bolstering you're gonna find in a second row seat in the market, in my opinion. But you still have your nice premium brown leather with the darker brown surrounding it. You still have the heating element inside of this seat. So while you do have your heated and cooled seats up front, you also happen to have your heated seats in that second row seat. So I think Ford absolutely nailed the back seat ergonomics inside of the new Ford Expedition. Last but certainly not least is going to be, how did I miss it again? Last but certainly not least is going to be, I just did it again. I don't know how to open a hood. Last but certainly not least is going to be the engine. Take a look at the 3.5 EcoBoost. It's a V6 with twin turbos designed to make a lot of horsepower, a lot of torque. It's great for towing, and it's supposed to be good for things like fuel economy when you're not towing anything heavy. Now, this is going to be mated up to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and quite frankly, this is the only way you can get this particular powertrain setup in the King Ranch Expedition. There is a high output 3.5 EcoBoost, but it's only available in select vehicles like the Tremor and then also the Platinum with the Ultimate Stealth Performance Package. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're looking at all of this. So with that being said, this, I don't know how to close the hood or open it apparently. This is the 2027 Expedition. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that like button. But more importantly, if you want to order one of these or purchase one of these vehicles at invoice pricing, just make sure that you scan the QR code right there on the screen or click on the link down below. Just reach out to us, tell them you saw this video, and we'll be happy to honor that pricing at Town & Country Ford in Pell City and Bessemer, Alabama. Thanks so much for watching this video, and have a great day. Peace.